The stare. The stare is something that has always bothered me. When I was little, I used to stare at every single person who looked at me, and I never looked away however long the other person stared at me. It bothers me because it's no one's business what I do, and it's nerve-wracking to be doing something knowing eyes are fixed on you and looking at everything you do. It also has to do with the notion of what they are thinking of you as they watch and listen to you. Whatever it is, the most annoying thing is the notion that they are being nosy, that they have nothing better to do than to stand there looking at you while you work, eat, talk, or whatever you do. You don't know them, and they look at you. They don't know you and they criticize you. When I've had enough of their intrusiveness, I look at them, but only when I'm serious about it. It's my way of saying, okay, that's enough, fuck off, mind your business, stop looking at me. Sometimes they look away immediately because it's usually an accident and they are embarrassed that you caught them looking at you. However, most of the time, they keep looking at you, and I take that as a challenge. Many times they are not willing to end the stare even though they are the ones who initiated the gaze. I interpret it as something difficult to do, since looking away implies accepting defeat, to look weak, or simply accepting guilt. Therefore it is a matter of pride. It might also be that they do not think that there's anything wrong since they are simply looking and that there's no harm done. It could also be that they do it on purpose because they consider themselves tough if they win the stare, which is a challenge as I said before. It could also be that they are staring because they find something unusual or are attracted to the person they are looking. It is possible. Accidental or not, a stare is annoying and can even be considered an invasion of privacy. After some time, I have figured ways to always win a stare challenge. The thing to take into account here is that you cannot always win a stare. By always winning I mean you have to pick when, where and who you will have a stare down with. The most important factor in any stare down is time. You cannot win if you are in a hurry, so if you are 5 minutes to work, don't pay mind to whoever is looking at you and get going. Make sure you have plenty of time and are willing to spend 30 minutes if you have to. Normally it doesn't take that long, but you should be willing to spend as much time as you need to. That is why you cannot engage in a stare with everyone who looks at you in a day, but at least you can do so sometimes. I normally only do so when I'm having a bad day because it can't go worse. I wouldn't do it if I'm having a nice day because it would ruin it. The longer a stare down takes, the more satisfying it is when you win. Conversely, the more painful it is the longer it takes for you to lose. It's a psychological thing too, because you have to have a mind that you want to be mean to the other person. You cannot have any doubts, or feel sorry for making the other party uncomfortable and decide to end the gaze because you'll regret it. The rule is that you mustn't do anything but give a fixed cold gaze. Don't show any expression or anything that makes the other party think that you are insecure. He has to believe that he will lose to you. You also need to consider the possibility of running into trouble, that the other person might want to challenge you to a fight. If you see that possibility and don't want to go there, don't respond to a stare, but if you're looking for trouble and can handle it, then go for it. If the other party talks to you at any time, don't talk back, just continue with a cold mean gaze until they give up. Factors that make it hard and possibly for you to lose is when you are not ready. By not being ready means that it caught you by surprise, and when you least expect it. It can also come from someone you know and you don't want to make them feel bad. If you have any doubts in your mind, you lose. Be mindful of company because you cannot win a stare down if you are talking to someone, much less if you two are laughing. Therefore, if you try to stare at the person who's looking at you, your friend will think that you're acting weird. You cannot engage in a stare down if you are eating because you cannot eat your meal without looking, and it's plain hard. You cannot win a stare if you are moving from one place to another, such as crossing the street. The best time to engage someone who is looking at you is when you have plenty of time and are sitting or standing in somewhere. If the other person is moving and have no chance of stopping, then you know that you have won, so never give up. You know that you have already won if you are standing and the other person is driving a car. Most drivers won't look at you because they have to keep their eyes on the road, and if they look at you they'll lose. If the other person is also sitting or standing and have plenty of time, then whoever has the stronger mind will win. This has been my advice on staring, so the next time someone gazes at you, give them a hard time.